Part 1. I used to say my life was built on simple truths. I love my wife, I love my son, and I belong to them the way a key belongs to its lock. 8 years of fatherhood made me confident in the quiet routines. Morning cereal, school drop-offs, bedtime stories. I didn't need proof. I had memories, fingerprints on lunchboxes, drawings on our fridge. Part 2. The first doubt arrived wearing the mask of a joke. At a family dinner, my brother squinted at my son and laughed. "He doesn't look like you at all." Everyone laughed with him. I laughed too, because that's what you do when a comment lands slightly too sharp. Later that night, I stared at my son's face in the glow of the hallway light, searching for myself like it was hidden in his cheekbones. Part 3. A week later, my wife mentioned a genetics test she saw online. For health risks, she said, casual, harmless. It felt practical, like buying a fire extinguisher you hope you'll never need. I ordered 2 kits, one for me and one for our son, thinking we'd get a neat little chart of ancestry and a few boring warnings about cholesterol. Part 4. We did the swabs on a Saturday morning. My son made faces, gagging dramatically, and I laughed so hard my eyes watered. My wife recorded a short clip for our private family group chat. In that moment, I felt grateful. Grateful for normal, grateful for laughter, grateful for the kind of life that didn't need cliffhangers. Part 5. The results took longer than expected. The app sent cheerful notifications that felt almost insulting. "We're analyzing your DNA," as if it were a fun game. One evening, my wife asked if anything had come in yet. Her voice sounded too careful, like she was stepping around something fragile on the floor. "Not yet," I said, and watched her exhale. Part 6. When my son's report finally arrived, I opened it on the couch while he played with toy cars. I expected the usual. Eye color markers, a list of distant regions, maybe a quirky trait. Instead, the screen displayed a warning I didn't understand. No close parental match detected. My brain rejected it the way the body rejects a splinter, instinctively, violently. Part 7 I refreshed. Logged out, logged back in. Same message. My hands went cold. I stared at my son, his messy hair, his chipped front tooth, the way he scrunched his nose when concentrating. The love was immediate and automatic, but somewhere beneath it, something cracked open and started leaking fear. Part 8. I didn't confront my wife right away. I did what scared people do. I investigated quietly. I dug up old photos, hospital paperwork, birth records, the little bracelet from the maternity ward we had kept in a memory box. I told myself I was looking for a glitch, a clerical error, anything that would let me put my world back the way it was. Part 9. That night I asked her to sit with me at the kitchen table. I slid the phone across like evidence. "Explain this," I said. My voice sounded calm, which terrified me more than anger would have. She looked at the screen, and in the tiniest pause before she spoke, I saw it. Recognition. Not surprise. Recognition. Part 10. Her face folded, like a paper held too close to fire. "I didn't want you to find out like this," she whispered. The words hit me wrong, because they weren't. "I don't know what this is." They were. "I've been living with this." I felt my chest tighten, the air suddenly too thick. Part 11. She told me the story in broken pieces. After birth, there had been chaos, an understaffed night, alarms, nurses rushing, another baby needing urgent care. "They brought him back," she said, voice shaking. "And I thought he looked different. But everyone told me I was exhausted, that it was normal." She said she mentioned it once, softly, and was brushed off. So she swallowed the fear and called it motherhood. Part 12. I couldn't process it. My mind kept returning to one question. If she suspected, why didn't she fight harder? She cried and said she did fight. Just not loudly, not formally, not in a way that leaves paper trails. She said she was terrified of being labeled hysterical, terrified of losing the baby she was holding, terrified that the truth would steal him away. Part 13. The next days were a blur of phone calls and silence. The hospital transferred me from department to department like a problem nobody wanted. Forms, waiting rooms, a social worker with gentle eyes. Another DNA test, this time official. I watched my son coloring in the corner, humming to himself, while strangers discussed his identity like it was a file on a desk. Part 14. The confirmation arrived like a verdict. He wasn't biologically ours. Somewhere, another family had been raising the child my wife gave birth to. I felt sick, not because I loved my son less, but because I loved him so much that the idea of switching him felt like tearing a heart in half and demanding it keep beating. Part 15. In the end, there was no clean ending, only choices that hurt. We agreed to meet the other family slowly, with professionals present, with boundaries with time. 2 boys, 2 sets of parents, 2 worlds colliding. And I learned something I never wanted to learn. Fatherhood isn't just biology, and it isn't just love. It's commitment under pressure. My son still calls me dad. I still answer, every time. Because whatever the DNA says, I'm the one who showed up for 8 years, and I'm not disappearing now.